good Illumineers, my Lorcana fam out there. AZ Aquaman here with another video for you guys. So today's video, I'll be doing a deck profile, but before that, I went and competed at a 1K tourney this weekend at J&J Gaming Factory here in Glendale, Arizona. Shout out to that shop. It went very smooth. It was very, it was a good experience. I loved it. We took third. But before I get into the deck profile, just talk about real quick rundown on some of my matchups. So, well, first off, we took MUFASA. We took MUFASA in the squad, Amber Steel MUFASA, in this tourney, which did pretty good. Anyway, so my rounds, round by round matches. So first round, it was, Ruby Sapphire. We got that 2-0. Second round, Ruby Amethyst. We got that one 2-0. Third round was another Ruby Sapphire. We won that one 2-1. Round 4 was Amethyst Steel. We got that one 2-0. Round 5, we drew. But I think that next matchup on that, I think the player was gonna use Steel Song, which I think I like that matchup for the Steel MUFASA. And round 6 was we drew on round 6. So we did 6 rounds of Swiss, and then after Swiss I ended up in the top seed, getting that #1 spot coming into the top 8 cut. So top 8 matches, I played Blurple. We won that one 2-1. And then top 4, I played against a Amethyst Steel deck, which was a crazy ass game, super close game. Yeah, it was crazy, but we couldn't get the job done. We lost 1-2 on that top 4. So, but other than that, MUFASA did work. It was a super fun deck to play, and now I'm going to do a deck profile on it. So, here we go. All right, onto the deck profile. We'll make this short and sweet. All right, 1 drops, 4 Cindy's, because we do have songs in here. We run 7 songs total. It is a MUFASA deck, so we don't want to go crazy on non-character cards. So 7 songs worked out well in this deck. So 4 Cindy's, 4 Daisies. I still like Daisy. I know some people don't, especially how the format is right now, because I just hear that, oh, you know, you're giving opponents, you know, free cards, because a lot of decks right now apparently are running, you know, all characters or majority characters, so you're essentially giving them free cards, which this deck is pretty on the low end with character, and we quest pretty fast, so we need that questing power in the beginning. And on top of that, if we do get matched up with like Steel Song or Ruby Sapphire, or decks that do have lots of actions and songs, it does help, because I hit a handful of B preps and brawls with Daisy in the tournament, so I still like Daisy. And you know, we're pretty comfortable around 4 to 5 ink, so she's nice to combo with like a couple 2 drops and 1 drop if we want to go wide. So you don't technically have to play her turn 1. I mean, she's a good turn 1 turn, especially if you're on the play, but yeah. Still, in my opinion, hands down, one of the best 2 drops in the game still, Mr. Shmee. So he does work. An early 2 drop like that could quest for 2, that has a 3/3 body, is good in my book. I also run the Piglet Poo Pirate, so sometimes you put those 2 together, he doesn't get the damage, but also sometimes I do like having him with damage, so I can heal him with Rapunzel. Another 4 of here, Lilo. Between Lilo and MUFASA, they do work against B preps or any like board wiping B prep stuff. Yeah, they do very well against it. 4 docks. Since this is a faster lower end deck, we usually have no cards, little to no cards in hand, because we're throwing down characters that we want to quest. We want to quest a lot with this deck and quest fast, so we usually don't have any cards, or we have very little cards. And Lorcana is a resource game. You guys got to remember that. So you can't just throw in all your cards and then just keep turning them and expect to win, I guess. You need resources, so we need to keep putting cards in our hand to play and just be aggressive continuously. So 4 docks to do that. 3 Calhouns. Very good defender. So, you know, on some plays I'll play like Daisy turn 1 and like maybe Calhoun turn 2. So if I do turn Daisy and, you know, something wants to smack into her, you punish your opponent with a, you know, that turn 2 Calhoun drop. But majority of the time I'm dropping Mr. Shmee turn 2. I like Calhoun on, like, I guess the defensive end if I want to punish an opponent for, you know, challenging one of my weaker characters. Make sure they get punished for that. And I did win a couple games with Calhoun. You know, them exerting their character, and then I'm comboing like strength, or not strength, let the storm rage on to hit an opponent's character with it, and then get the quick 2 lure with Calhoun. So she won me a couple games. Piglet, super good. So I was actually running 4 Piglets, but I opted to do 3 Calhouns, and this split's working out very well. Piglet's just like a nice 2-drop. I know he's squishy, but him being a 2-drop that could possibly quest for 3 it's big. Especially when you have like 4 or 5 in Inkwell and you want to drop a couple of little bodies on the board that your opponent has to answer, and if they can't answer it, they get punished for it. But Piglet's that guy. And also he is a captain, so if you don't want your Shmee damaged, play him. So how I play Piglet usually is, if I'm on the play against Ruby Sapphire, if I'm on the play, I'll play Piglet turn 2 instead of Shmee, because especially if you have a Pete and you have a Piglet in an opening and you're going first, if you're on the play against Ruby Sapphire, you should play Piglet turn 2 and then Pete turn 3, because there's no way in hell they're gonna brawl this. The only way they can do it is if you gotta watch out. So if they open up with the ice block, you might, I don't know, think about it. But if they don't open up with the ice block, because with the ice block, they can go ice block and then little Sisu. But if they don't open up with the ice block, this is almost like a guaranteed win against Ruby Sapphire. You go in turn 1 Daisy, turn 2 Piglet, and then turn 3 Pete while you're swinging, and they can't answer this because of Pete, and then you swing again. By the time it's like turn 5, you're already way ahead. You're gonna be at like, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18 lure. And at that point, your opponent is gonna be at like 5 or 6 ink, and all they're doing now is trying to answer your board while you're throwing in, you know, continuous little characters in there. So on the draw though, against Ruby Saph, I would suggest I would mulligan Piglets if I'm going second against Ruby Sapphire, because it's super brawlable. I mean, if you draw it in a mulligan, or your mulligan, that's fine. But in your first starting hand, I would put this back if you're going second against Ruby Sapphire. There's times where Piglet's utilized really good. Pete, awesome against Steel Songs and you know, your red matchups, because it just stops actions. And it stops, not only that, it stops, you know, Ruby Sapphire from removing some of your characters with like brawls. It also stops them from ramping, because now I'm noticing people are ramping a lot with sales or what is it? How far I'll go. So that stops them from ramping. And he's got a 3/3 body. Lawrence is just amazing. 4/4 beater that could trade in. I know he's a 2-quester, but a lot of the times I trade with him, or I just challenge characters so I can heal him with Rapunzel. And also, he's awesome non-target for like brawls and Sisus and Medusas, unless they have ice block, of course. But other than that, he's pretty tough to remove. So I like Lawrence at 4. 3 Docs, just because he is an aggressive quester. He's a good alternative aggressive quester for a 3-drop. And on occasion, I will drop, depending on the matchup, I'll play him on turn 3 so I could ramp up to like my top end characters, which I'll show later. So 4 Docs. For the song package, we run 4 Let It Go. Let the Storm Rage On. Very good. You can spot removal little characters that you need to remove and then draw a card, or a handful of times, because like I said, this is a resource game and we use our resource a lot, so we need to replenish our hand. So a lot of the times, guys, I actually would just sing, get a good body on board, and I actually just like to sing this, hit one of my bodies to draw a card, and then drop a Rapunzel to draw 2 more cards. I did that a lot in the tourney because, like I said, we're dropping lots of characters so we can quest out, and we need to replenish our resource to keep doing that. So that's a good way to do it. So 4. 3 Strength, because we do have little characters that we can get on board, you know, 3, 4, 5 characters, and we can remove bigger characters that needs to be dealt with. So Strength, the Raging Fire, 3. One of our best quester and bodies on board, Rapunzel, and our main draw, I guess, is Rapunzel. Sucks that, you know, Sisu and brawls can hit her hard, but she's just good overall. And our bodyguards, Pluto, to help protect our little guys. Okay, like people have to use 2 moves to take care of Pluto, basically, which is crazy. And he can trade off with Mauis and Maui sharks. So yeah, he's really good. Another 4 ofs here. Chenpo. So with me running, like I said, the Docs, depending on the matchups and your hand, obviously, and the plays you want to do, I will drop Doc, and if they don't remove Doc, you're dropping Chenpo turn 4. And then the other top end, so my top ends are 5 drops, Chenpo and Mufasa. Mufasa, I mean, everyone knows Mufasa. He's the big daddy of them all. Anyways, so yeah, Doc. Doc is nice, turn 3, because if you have Daisy, Shmi, Doc, or Daisy, Lilo, just high questing people, and they don't answer that board, and then you quest and you drop Chenpo turn 4. He's hard to remove turn 4. Like, there's not a lot of things you can do at turn 4 with Chenpo. So they have to do a couple things to even try to remove him, or, you know, dwindle him down for the next turn. And by then you might have another bodyguard, and it just gets crazy. So that's why I like the Doc. Yeah, 4 Chenpos and then 4 Mufasas. And that is the list of Mufasa and the squad. Mufasa Steel. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. This deck is a lot of fun, and it's very explosive. But at the same time, it's not like hyper aggro where you just like blow all your load and then you're done after that. So there are cards to keep replenishing your resources. There are cards to help control board and board state. So it's not just like a pure, very aggressive deck. It can be a very aggressive deck, but you have other options depending on the matchups. And I think, in my opinion, I think this deck has like plenty of good matchups against anything right now.